Okay, real quick, y'all. Is the universe saying that I should be dating a white man?
Probably not. I mean, if it happens naturally, hey, that's great. That's great. But are we really asking this question at the same time this is going on?
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture effectively was saying, this is a white culture, a whites only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time. It can be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, or if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
Sorry. I should not be laughing. I'm just saying that to me, the context is hilarious. This is to me what makes this swirling conversation the most hilarious right now, is because I genuinely believe that there are so many black women out here who are completely clueless as to what's going on. I just find it fascinating that these conversations are still going on at the same time that white people are literally building white-only towns. Now, I know this is a smaller settlement that is growing, but I mean, literally, you can literally find them on X. They're attracting millennials and Gen Zers. They're not like old, like silent generation boomer types. These are like the generation today. I am not saying that I'm not saying that you can't obviously date interracially. I'm just saying, can we start to have some reality when we're having these conversations and not just think that going over to the white side is going to be hella easy and without its own level of complications, and that there are actually white men out there who are a lot less into the idea at a time when they feel that their population is declining. This is not difficult to me. But anyways, she's probably not aware of that. I'm assuming she's not aware of that.
So peep this. I just saw a TikTok from Amro White. Now, side note, if you're black and single, you need to be following Amro White because...
Amro White, I've talked about him before. He is a dating coach. First of all, I have got to just shout out him for his business acumen, because he has basically made an entire business off of, talking to women about dating. Now, to me personally, I find it kind of insane if you're a straight woman who is into men. I find it literally insane to try to get dating advice from a gay man. Me personally, I'm not getting dating advice for a heterosexual relationship with somebody who's not in it. That's just me personally. Also, we don't even know if he's married. That's another thing. I don't understand how you got all these dating coaches out here who are not married giving dating and relationship advice, marriage advice. I don't get it. But nevertheless, he has a lot of people who think he's great, and it is what it is. Now, I've listened to some of his content, and I think some of it is absolutely insane, if I'm being honest. But it's entertainment, nonetheless, and he's getting paid. So I can't knock the hustle. Okay.
Because he has all the tips and tricks for dating as a black woman. Anyway, he said on the TikTok that black love is a scam because black women outnumber black men and that they date a...
That one was absolutely ridiculous. That to me is dangerous. How are you going to sit here and tell black women that black love is a scam at the same time you see a resurgence of white supremacy and racism? That is so dangerous. That is so dangerous. What are you doing? You're trying to create further divide at a time when black women are actually the most at risk. You're trying to stoke tensions between black men and women at a time when, again, it's the most volatile, and you see other communities rallying together, some of them who are actually preparing for race wars. I'm not wishing this stuff. I'm not saying that this has to happen, but I'm just saying this is the kind of stuff These are the kind of conversations people are having. This is what they're doing. They're building white-only towns that says black people are not allowed. No Jews, no gays, no black. Like, that's what they're doing. They're building militias. And we're sitting here and saying that black love is a scam when black women, single black women, unmarried single black women are the most at risk to be impoverished, especially if they have kids out of wedlock. So it's like, what are we doing? This may sound good. We may create all these ideas like, okay, well, we've heard it all before. They're outnumbered, they're snowboarding, they're gay, they're prison. I've broken this down at length. But really, to me, what it does is stoke tensions between black men and women that, in my assessment, need to be nullified, need to be addressed, need to be minimized at a time like this when, you know, just racism is being recharged.
A lot outside of their race. And so if you have a certain specific set of qualities, you probably should be dating a white man. He said that if you have a septum piercing and big glasses, then white men are probably for you. And
another thing I never hear Anwar White talk about is weight. Hate to go there. I don't ever hear him talk about weight. The white community, by and large, is not as body positive or fat accepting as the black community. They are not. They are not at all. Just talk to white women. See the pressure that they have. If you've ever been around like upper middle class white women, you'll see them. You'll see a woman. She'll have like a toddler. She'll be at the Pilates. She'll be Pilates in the morning. Then she'll do weight training in the evening. You know, she'll be walking her kid on the trail. She'll be running in the morning. Like you notice in culture where there's a lot of white folks and there's a lot of wealthy white folks, you notice that the women are very slim. You'll see a lot of slim blondes. I've seen this with my own eyes. I don't see plus size, and if I do, they're usually older. They're like boomers, and it's like the retired grandparents. Like, okay. But what I'm saying is, for the kind of white men that these ladies might be attracted to, which is the one that's generally going to be more wealthy, is going to be more settled, they're not as body positive. They're not as accepting of bigger bodies. Even Kristen Harrison mentioned this in one of her, I think, books, to my understanding, or one of her videos. She mentioned this. I think she got some pushback. But that's the truth. So you can't just say, oh, if you got a bad wig or something ring, oh, white men are for you. Not if you are obese. Most white men are not into that. And again, I'm talking about the kind of white men that these ladies want. Because these white ladies, they don't want a bottom shelf Brad. The bottom shelf Brad type. They don't want that. They want the ones that are sitting on generational wealth. They want the ones that, you know, are a part of the golf club and going to the yacht maybe every quarter, or having family vacations every quarter, or, you know, like, they want that one. Country club membership. He's not bringing home BBW. He's not. And black American women are the most obese. So that alone, forget about racism, forget about all the cultural challenges and the pressure of a declining white population, and what that alone is going to minimize the opportunities that black women have if they want to date out. Okay.
I'm like, wait a minute. I have two of those qualities, and all I date is nignog. So I'm like, maybe he's onto something, but I love black men, so I just keep it in the back of my mind. Now, I was just in Costco, and I saw two interracial couples with...
Yeah, and she said nignog. Okay. And like I said, black men are probably the most attracted, and I don't mean to disrespect, but black men are generally the most attracted to, like, dark skin, plus size women, dark skin, curvy women. Like, we've all seen relationships like that. Half the relationships with like a muscular and lean black man with like a curvy black woman, or just an obese black woman, or a curvy sister, a BBW, however you want to put it. We've seen it. Black men are really accepting of that, by and large. They're the most body positive in America. They are. That is not always the case in other cultures. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it's a lot less likely. Or unless it's like a fetish thing. Now, though, some will do the fetish thing. They will slide in your DMs. They will send you messages. They may even send you some bread, some money. They may even try to buy you a gift and take you out. Like, so some will do the whole fetish stuff. But I'm just saying, as far as like the long-term commitment, you're now also going to be a part of the country club. He's taking you to the company party. You guys are going on the yacht. You're meeting his friends and his family. Not if you're plus sized. Some of them are really, really, really conscious about weight, you know.
Black women and white men. I'm like, okay, period. Shouts out to y'all. Then I look on my phone and it says 555 on the dot. Now y'all know me. I'm an astrology girly. I'm a numerology girly. If the universe is going to speak, it's going to be through numbers. So I'm like 555 on my phone and 2 interracial couples. Like, what does this mean? So now I'm thinking, is the universe sending me a sign? I don't want to date a white man. No, I want somebody I can say the N-word with. Ugh.
You know, she didn't seem like she was saying anything negative. I think it was just a genuine question. And I think her question in this particular climate is very intriguing. I think a lot of Black women feel this way. And look, it's natural when you're in a dating market to want to look at all the options available to you. I'm just saying, I think a lot of these conversations are separate from reality and trends. You guys remember that study I shared maybe about a month or so ago, where it was basically white men who were candidly sharing their perception of Black beauty. And it was very racialized and stereotypical. And of course, that wasn't all the case. You did have some white men in there who were saying, hey, I love my Black queens. You know, you had that. But just by and large, the bigger picture was that a lot of white guys are still into white women. And I don't see anything wrong with that, honestly. I actually think it's natural. Most men, by and large, across races, tend to be the most attracted to their own women. There's nothing wrong with that. But in America, we know it's diverse, but we also understand there's a lot of racial tension and political tension going on. And you got to look at the birth rate and people in this, you know, battle for power. All of that is playing a role in how people are interacting in the dating market. And then when you add to that feminism and the confusion around the dating market and the hookup culture, it's just a whole powder keg. So I'm just saying, like, just don't think that it's going to be super easy, or just go and thinking, okay, let me just get a white man and everything's going to be better. Everything's going to be easier and that's it. Like, that's not necessarily the case. I think in order to do that, you would have to just put the blinders on, and that's not really healthy. Anyways, y'all, that's what I got. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.